I am tying up a pheasant tail nymph in the form of a perdigon. And you do not have to start with orange, but I like the challenge. It's going to have a hot spot regardless, but even that wouldn't have taken the attention away from that god-awfully large tail. It's going to have a hot spot regardless, and you can, and I do often, start with a natural thread just for your underbody so that you don't run the risk of it peeking through the pheasant tail. But my brown marker isn't far away, so worst case, I can always fudge it. So I've tied in the CDL tail, I've tied in the small copper wire, and where I would usually use a brassy wire on a pheasant tail nymph, I'm using small just because the goal is to make a perdigon. I don't want the added girth of a thicker wire. So I'm just going to catch those pheasant tail fibers, take maybe one to half a wrap backwards just to ensure that the pheasant tail is tied all the way back to the tail. Then I'm going to use my finger as a bobbin cradle, tie off the pheasant tail, make 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 wraps in front of the pheasant tail, and undo those 1, 2, 3, 4 thread wraps with your counter rib. And that's it for the tying portion. You do not have to worry about any frayed material for once, if you ever worried about it. I lose sleep over it. Yeah, that's the tying portion. Now we get to set it on fire. But I'm going to do the real versions first, just in case I mess them up. I'd hate to mess up a tutorial version. Okay, so I've got my finished pheasant tail. I've just got a finished pheasant tail. I am now going to set it on fire. That might have been a little dramatic. So once I have successfully singed 360 degrees of the fly, I'm going to dip my lighter hand fingers in water just to wipe off any soot, as well as encourage any remaining barbs to lie down. And from there, I'm just gonna plop on a good bead of resin, much more than I would ever use on a normal perdigon. And almost every time, I won't get this in one shot, but every once in a while I get lucky, and every once in a while on camera, every once in a while I'll get lucky. like I just did. Usually I'll have to come back and add a little dollop right behind the bead just to, because it typically will suck into the slot and you'll just have to come fill that in. But that's pretty much perfect. So yeah, that is just a Perdigon version of a pheasant tail, and it's really a super simple remedy that took me years to figure out. But I figured it out because I am far too stubborn for my own good. Okay, this fly turned out perfect. This outro has not turned out perfect, which is why I am doing it for the 5th time. And primarily that's because I get really awkward when I say I would just ask that if you reproduce this fly that you consider giving me credit for it, because it took me a long time to figure this one out. And while I don't often support credit given to flies because I don't often believe that credit is due, this one I feel I worked to come up with this one. And yeah, but I finally did it. And I am super stoked that I did, because this is the simple, obvious first choice, just a hot spot, but I've already done some flashbacks that may or may not happen again. However, there are a ton of other options that I want to do. Can't wait to try. Yeah, it's going to be a good one. But yeah, I hope you liked it, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your internet.